Welcome to our new video. Today we explore Nietzsche's views on weakness, strength, and the power of facing life's challenges with courage. We often perceive weakness as a lack of physical prowess. When we see someone struggling to lift weights or failing to complete a physical challenge, we quickly label them as weak. This perception is deeply ingrained in our society, where physical strength and endurance are often equated with overall capability and worth. But what if true weakness runs far deeper? What if it is not just about the physical, but also about the mental and emotional aspects of our lives? Consider the thoughtful person looking into the distance, lost in deep contemplation. They might be grappling with inner battles that are far more challenging than any physical feat. Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher, challenges us to look beyond the surface. He invites us to question our conventional understanding of strength and weakness. Nietzsche's philosophy delves into the complexities of human nature, urging us to explore the depths of our psyche and confront the hidden aspects of ourselves. He suggests that weakness can be a cunning disguise, a mask that hides our flaws and insecurities. This mask is not just a physical one, but a metaphorical shield we use to protect ourselves from the judgment of others. It allows us to present a facade of strength while concealing our true vulnerabilities. It's a facade we construct to shield ourselves from the harsh realities of life. When we look in the mirror with a troubled expression, we are often confronted with the parts of ourselves we wish to hide. Sitting alone, deep in contemplation, we may realize that the mask we wear is not just for others, but also for ourselves. Nietzsche argues that this perceived weakness is not merely a personal failing, it is a societal issue, a collective condition that affects us all. The crowd of people looking downcast. Weakness often begins with self-deception. It's a subtle, insidious force that creeps into our minds, whispering lies that we come to accept as truths. We tell ourselves that we are not good enough, that we are not capable, that our dreams are too far out of reach. These thoughts become the foundation of our self-imposed limitations. We tell ourselves stories to justify our inaction, to rationalize our fears, and to excuse our unwillingness to change. These stories are comforting in their familiarity, but they are also the chains that bind us to a life of mediocrity. We convince ourselves that the risks are too great, that the potential for failure is too high, and so we remain stagnant, paralyzed by our own narratives. Our fears, our unwillingness to change, they all stem from this deep-seated self-deception. We hesitate, we second-guess, and we ultimately hold ourselves back from the opportunities that could lead to growth and fulfillment. The labyrinth of self-deception is intricate and complex, with each turn and twist leading us further away from our true potential. We convince ourselves that we are not strong enough, not smart enough, or not worthy enough to pursue our dreams. These beliefs are not based on reality, but on the stories we have told ourselves over and over again. They become self-fulfilling prophecies, shaping our actions and our lives in ways that keep us confined within the walls of our own making. Smart enough or worthy enough to pursue our dreams. We create elaborate narratives that protect our egos but ultimately imprison us in a cage of our own making. These narratives are comforting because they absolve us of responsibility. They allow us to blame external factors for our lack of progress, rather than confronting the uncomfortable truth that we are often our own greatest obstacles. We create elaborate narratives that protect our egos but ultimately imprison us in a cage of our own making. This self-deception is a subtle but powerful force. It operates in the shadows of our minds, influencing our thoughts and actions in ways we are often unaware of. It is the voice that tells us to play it safe, to avoid risks, and to stay within the confines of what is known and comfortable. This self-deception is a subtle but powerful force. It whispers doubts in our ears, magnifies our insecurities, and undermines our belief in ourselves. It is the voice that tells us we are not good enough, that we will never succeed, and that it is better to not try at all than to risk failure. These whispers become the soundtrack of our lives, playing on a loop that keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and inaction. It whispers doubts in our ears, magnifies our insecurities, and undermines our belief in ourselves. It feeds on our fear of failure, our aversion to discomfort, and our longing for the safety of the familiar. It tells us that it is better to stay where we are, to avoid the unknown, and to cling to the illusion of security. But this security is a mirage, a false sense of safety that keeps us from truly living. It feeds on our fear of failure, our aversion to discomfort, and our longing for the safety of the familiar. We may believe that we are protecting ourselves by avoiding challenges and clinging to the status quo, but in reality we're only perpetuating our own weakness. Each time we give in to self-doubt, each time we shrink from an opportunity for growth, we reinforce the walls of our self-imposed limitations. We may believe that we are protecting ourselves by avoiding challenges and clinging to the status quo, but in reality we are only perpetuating our own weakness. Each time we give in to self-doubt, each time we shrink from an opportunity for growth, we reinforce the walls of our self-imposed limitations. These walls become higher and stronger with each act of avoidance, making it even more difficult to break free. But in reality, we are only perpetuating our own weakness. Each time we give in to self-doubt, each time we shrink from an opportunity for growth, we reinforce the walls of our self-imposed limitations. These walls become higher and stronger with each act of avoidance, making it even more difficult to break free. The longer we stay within the confines of our self-deception, the more entrenched it becomes and the harder it is to see the truth. Each time we give in to self-doubt, each time we shrink from an opportunity for growth, we reinforce the walls of our self-imposed limitations. But there is hope. Nietzsche challenges us to confront these self-deceptions, to tear down the walls of our inner labyrinth and face the truth of our being. This is not an easy task, but it is a necessary one if we are to achieve true strength and fulfillment. Nietzsche challenges us to confront these self-deceptions, to tear down the walls of our inner labyrinth and face the truth of our being. Only by acknowledging our weaknesses, our fears, and our insecurities can we begin the journey towards true strength. This journey requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to face the uncomfortable truths about ourselves. But it is through this process that we can break free from the chains of self-deception and unlock our true potential. Only by acknowledging our weaknesses, our fears, and our insecurities can we begin the journey towards true strength. It is a journey that requires us to look within, to confront the parts of ourselves that we have hidden away, and to embrace the truth of who we are. In doing so, we can dismantle the labyrinth of self-deception and step into a life of authenticity, courage, and true empowerment. Weakness manifests in countless subtle ways in our daily lives. It's the voice in our head that tells us to stay silent when we witness injustice. It's the fear that prevents us from speaking our truth, from pursuing our passions, from taking risks that could lead to extraordinary rewards. Weakness is choosing instant gratification over long-term fulfillment. It's settling for mediocrity when we are capable of greatness. It's allowing fear to dictate our choices, our relationships, and ultimately, our lives. Consider the colleague who avoids confrontation, allowing others to take credit for their work, or the friend who remains trapped in an unfulfilling relationship out of fear of being alone. These are not isolated incidents, but rather reflections of a pervasive societal tendency to choose comfort over courage. Each time we witness these acts of self-sabotage, we are reminded of the insidious nature of weakness. It's a silent epidemic, eroding our potential, stifling our creativity, and preventing us from truly living. Section 4. The contagion of fear and conformity. Weakness is not merely a personal struggle, it has a societal dimension. When fear and conformity become the norm, they create a culture that discourages individuality, innovation, and excellence. Imagine a society where everyone dresses the same, thinks the same, and acts the same. A society where questioning the status quo is met with resistance, where challenging conventional wisdom is seen as a threat. This is the danger of allowing weakness to permeate our social fabric. When we prioritize conformity over individuality, we stifle creativity and innovation. We create a world where everyone is afraid to stand out, to be different, to challenge the status quo. This fear of the unconventional, the different, the new, ultimately leads to stagnation and decline. Nietzsche believed that a healthy society thrives on the strength of its individuals, on their willingness to embrace their uniqueness, challenge norms, and strive for greatness. Section 5. The will to power, embracing the abyss. Nietzsche offers a powerful antidote to the poison of weakness, the will to power. This concept is not merely about exerting control over others or seeking dominance in the external world. Instead, it is a profound call to master our own inner realms, to harness our inner strength, and to cultivate resilience in the face of life's inevitable challenges. This is not a call to dominate others, but rather a call to master ourselves. It is about looking inward, reflecting on our own thoughts, emotions, and actions, and striving to become the best version of ourselves. This journey of self-mastery requires us to be honest with ourselves, to confront our own limitations, and to work diligently to overcome them. It's the unwavering commitment to confront our fears, embrace our vulnerabilities, and strive for self-mastery in all aspects of our lives. Whether it's climbing a mountain, facing a daunting task, or training intensely for a goal, the will to power is about pushing our boundaries and expanding our capabilities. This journey begins with the courage to face the abyss within ourselves, to acknowledge our weaknesses, our insecurities, and our deepest fears. It is only by confronting these inner demons that we can begin to transform them into sources of strength and wisdom. It's about embracing the unknown, the uncomfortable, and the unconventional. Stepping into the woods, entering a dark room, or exploring an unfamiliar city are metaphors for the broader journey of life, where we must venture into the unknown to discover our true potential. The will to power is not about achieving perfection, but about constantly striving, evolving, and becoming the best versions of ourselves. It is about the relentless pursuit of growth, the dedication to honing our skills, and the perseverance to keep going even when the path is difficult. It's about embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, setbacks as lessons learned, and failures as stepping stones on the path to success. Each obstacle we face is a chance to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. This is not a path for the faint of heart. It requires a deep sense of self-belief, the courage to walk a solitary path, and the determination to keep moving forward even when the journey is tough. It requires unwavering self-belief, relentless determination, and an unyielding commitment to personal growth. The will to power is about lifting the weights of our own limitations, completing the difficult tasks that life presents, and climbing the steep hills of our personal challenges. But the rewards are immeasurable, a life of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. When we embrace the will to power, we find ourselves living a life that is rich with purpose, filled with meaning, and brimming with a deep sense of fulfillment. This is the true essence of embracing the abyss. Thank you for joining us on this introspective journey. Until next time, may you find meaning and purpose in every step of your path.